The fire's warm, but the woods never rest. You've found your way beyond the pines. My grandparents' house always smelled like cedar and dust. It sat at the edge of a dead-end road, tucked against a wall of forest that seemed to swallow sound. When I was a kid, it felt like a safe place. But when they passed away last year and the family asked me to help clean it out, it didn't feel safe anymore. It felt watched. The first day I arrived, the electricity still worked. I opened the basement door and the smell hit me. Old earth and something sweet like rotting fruit. The light bulb over the stairs flickered. Half the basement was normal. Boxes, old furniture, a freezer humming in the corner. The other half looked like no one had touched it since the 70s. Wood panel walls, linoleum peeling up like scars. And then I saw it. A patch of the wall that looked off. Different color, newer wood. Almost like someone had replaced a section recently. At first, I figured it was termite damage, but when I tapped on it, it sounded hollow. Behind the wall was air. I grabbed a screwdriver from the toolbox and started prying. The panel gave with a do-I crack, and a wave of cold, stale air rushed out, like I just opened a tomb. Behind it was a small, square door, metal, rusted, no handle, just a slot where a padlock used to hang. The smell was stronger there, and underneath it all, I swear I heard breathing. I told myself it was the wind from the vents, but the house's heat hadn't been on in months. I left it alone after that, for a while. That night, I stayed in my old bedroom upstairs. Around 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of footsteps below me, slow, uneven, like someone pacing directly under my bed. The house creaked all the time, but this was different. Every step was followed by a dragging noise, like a bare foot sliding over concrete. I froze, listening, until the sound stopped at the bottom of the stairs. Then, 2 slow knocks on the basement door. I waited. Nothing else. When I finally got up the courage to check, the door was shut tight. But something had scratched the paint right where the handle met the frame. 3 long marks, deep and fresh. The next morning, I tried to tell myself I'd imagined it, but when I went down to the basement again, the air felt heavier. The small metal door was open about an inch. I don't remember unlocking it. I didn't have a key. When I knelt down to look, the space beyond was completely dark. I held my phone flashlight inside. Rough brick walls, dirt floor, maybe 10 feet deep. And on the ground, footprints. Bare, human, small, like a child's. They went deeper into the black. Something in there moved, just enough to stir the dust, a whisper of motion that made my breath catch. I slammed the door shut and nailed the panel back into place. Then I left the house and didn't come back for 2 days. When I finally returned, I brought a friend, Chris. He was the kind of guy who didn't believe in ghosts, just bad plumbing and raccoons. We pulled the panel off again. The metal door was closed this time. He laughed. Probably a crawl space. Let's check it out. He tugged the door open. It groaned like something waking up. Inside was the same dirt floor, but the footprints were gone. And something else was there. A small wooden toy truck sitting right in the center, coated in dust except for the wheels, which looked polished and new. Chris picked it up. That's when we heard it. A low inhale, like something breathing in from very close by. He dropped the toy, and we both stumbled back as the air turned cold. A voice whispered from inside the dark, "Don't cover the door again." We didn't wait to hear more. We ran upstairs, slammed the door, and didn't stop till we were outside. Chris swore it had to be a prank, maybe a squatter, but when he turned the basement light back on from the switch upstairs, it flicked off immediately, like someone below had hit it. We left. That night, he texted me, "Still think it's someone living in there. Going back tomorrow." He didn't answer my reply. I went back the next morning. His car was parked crooked in the driveway. Driver's side door still open. Inside the house, the basement door stood wide open. The smell hit me halfway down the hall. Wet earth and something metallic. Chris's flashlight lay at the foot of the stairs, beam pointing at the open metal door. I called his name. No answer. The flashlight flickered once, then went out. I ran. Police came later. They searched the basement. Nothing there. No crawl space, no metal door, just a patched-up wall. They said I was mistaken, that maybe Chris left on his own. But they didn't see the toy truck sitting at the top of the stairs. The wheels gleamed like they'd just been oiled. A week later, I started hearing noises in my own apartment, something scratching inside the vents. When I followed the sound, it always led to the basement laundry room. Last night, I found dirt piled up beneath the vent grate, like someone digging from the other side. I moved out first thing this morning, but before I left, I set my phone to record and left it running overnight. When I listened to the playback, the first few hours were quiet. Then, around 3 a.m., I heard a whisper, the same voice from my grandparents' basement.